Hi, I'm Sharon. Welcome to my Theory Tuition series where I'm working with you step by step through the ABRSM Theory Grades. There are lots of resources available to help you on my website. If you go to sharonbill.com, you'll find some free PDF information sheets which you can download in US letter or A4, and they accompany each step of this series. You'll find a page there with links to all of my YouTube video tutorials, and you can also find out about the books that I have available. I've written an exam technique guide, how to take your ABRSM Music Theory Exam. It's full of tips and techniques on how to best be prepared for your exam, and also how to make the best use of your time come exam day. So if you go to sharonbill.com, you'll find it's all there. If you can give me a like, that would be really super, and please do subscribe to my channel and share out the videos. And now we're going to continue with the Grade 5 2019 Practice Paper S. So if you turn with me to page 26, we'll carry on with this paper. So looking at question 2, we're describing intervals, and we're describing melodic intervals to be precise, remembering that melodic intervals are called so because they come one after each other as if in a melody, unlike a harmonic interval that come together one on top of each other like a harmony. And before we get sort of stuck into these, it's worth having your circle of fifths to hand so that you've got all of your key signatures for major and minor keys, so that you don't have to keep on dredging up that information every time you need to think about a key signature. It's all there to hand, and you can nice and calmly refer to it, and it'll help prevent mistakes. If you're not sure how to work out this circle of fifths, if you go to my playlist Music Theory for Everyone, and you'll find in there the circle of fifths video, and that explains exactly how to go about this. You'll find the link in the cards and in the description. And so now, whenever you're describing an interval, regardless of what the key signature may imply, we always take the lowest note as the tonic, and the key signature only applies in terms of whether it affects the notes that are given here. So the first job is to count the actual interval, how much distance there is between the two notes, always counting the lowest note as number 1. So 1, 2, 3, 4. We know that we have a fourth of some sort or other. Now here, this is an E flat. Now then, it helps to visualise these by just glancing at a piano keyboard, and E flat to A flat would be a perfect fourth, sort of common to both the major and the minor key signature, and it's a perfect interval. You don't bother with major or minor. And if you want to know why that is, if you look on that same playlist, I describe these intervals in depth and explain why it is that fourths and fifths and octaves are perfect. So E flat to A flat would be perfect. However, it's not A flat. The key signature doesn't affect that. It's an A natural. And so we've actually made that interval bigger. So when a perfect interval is made bigger, it becomes augmented. We have augmented that interval. And so we have an augmented fourth. Now this next one, we can see we're already exceeding an octave. So what I do is I just jump up the octave and then start the process again. I do this because then I know that still fourths, fifths and octaves are perfect. I don't have to then memorise the fact that 12ths are the same as fifths, as it were, compound fifths. So here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We know it's a compound fifth of some sort. So that's half the marks sorted. Now we'll count the B as the tonic, and we know that B major and B minor would have an F sharp. B to F sharp is the correct interval. That's the full interval, and nothing's been altered, so that is just a perfect fifth. So now we have a compound perfect fifth. Nothing's been enlarged or diminished. So next one. So even though the highest note comes first and then it's the lowest note, you always start with the lowest note counting upwards. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we have a seventh of some sort. That's half the marks. Now our lowest note is A, so we're thinking as A is the tonic. Now A major would have a G sharp as part of the key signature. You can see from your circle of fifths, A major has a key signature of 3 sharps. However, this G is not sharpened, it's a G natural. So what's happened is the major interval is larger. Major means larger. It's been made smaller because we've brought that in. Minor means smaller. So we've gone from major to minor. And the key signature for A minor has a key signature of no sharps or flats. So you can see it's part of that scale as well. So minor, there we go. And so continuing with intervals, but now we have to create the interval as described. And so first job is getting our note head in the correct place. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And again, we're on melodic intervals. We're in the bass clef and we have a B to a G sharp because the key signature is active, and B major has G sharps naturally as part of that major key signature, so it's all sort of done and dusted straight ahead for us. That's a major sixth. And so now we need to create a diminished fifth. So let's get the fifth in hand first. So counting space line in step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 takes us to a D. Now it's tricky thinking, am I in G sharp major, minor, it's going to be perfect or whatever. So let's first of all think about it from G. So G to D we know is a perfect fifth. However, it's a G sharp, and so by raising the lower note we've actually made the interval smaller. So we've gone from perfect, we've made it smaller, and so that's a diminished fifth. So that G sharp does the job for us and it's all sorted. So let's press on to the next question. So question 3 again is relating to the topic of intervals, but now we're transposing a whole passage. The melody is written for cor anglais, that's the English horn, and as a member of the horn family it transposes a fifth. So when it sounds a note C, there we go, C, it actually, when it plays a note C, it sounds an F. So it sounds a fifth lower. And so what we're asked to do is to transpose it down a perfect fifth as it would actually sound if it played these notes. So we are going down a perfect fifth. Now we're asked to put in a key signature and then we're going to have to adjust the accidentals as we go. So we take this given key signature and then we transpose that down a fifth. Now it could be major, it could be minor, but it really doesn't matter. The accidentals will deal with all of that. It's much easier to just think we're in F major. So if we think in F and then counting down a fifth, a perfect fifth, 1, 2, 3, 4, we need the full step. That takes us to B flat. So we're now going into the key of B flat major, which means we'll have a key signature of B flats and E flat. So that now sets the stage, and all we're going to have to do is adjust these accidentals as we go along. So before we get entrenched, I'm just going to map out my bar lines, get all the nuts and bolts in the right place. So if we're going to go down a perfect fifth, everything's going down a fifth. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that takes us to D. So we're going down 2 spaces, as it were. And so what I'm going to do, I'm going to look at the relationship between the notes as well as also double checking down a fifth as well. So this now goes up a third. And notice well, I'm trying to keep everything as aligned as I can to their given notes. And that way I know I'm not going to lose room in the bar, and also I'm not going to lose track of where I am. So down a fifth, that's an F, that's correct. Now down from here, the next note is 1, 2, 3, a fourth lower, 1, 2, 3, a fourth lower. So that takes us to C. Now this note here has been raised. This is a C natural, not affected by the key signature. So to raise that, we also need a sharp. So next door note up a third. Oh, something's gone wrong here. I've not gone next door. This is how we check. Didn't go next door, did I? That's where we go. Missed one. Up a third now. So 1, 2, 3. That's right. And actually we can double check. This note and this note are the same. And so they should also be the same. There we go. That note and that note is the same. So now, in fact, I'm not quite aligned. That's where it's going wrong. So let's do that. There we go. That's it. And then 1, 3, 5 takes us to a B, which is up a 1, 2, 3, 4 from the last note. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's right. Back on track. Down a step. Down a step. Now then, here, this is a B flat because of the key signature. This has been raised, and so in order to raise this, a flat raised becomes a natural. So we don't just transplant a sharp sound, we have to just raise it by a semitone and by whatever means necessary. So now up a third, which takes us to D, that's correct. Down a step. Down a step. Now then here, that's been, the raised sharp note here has been cancelled by lowering it with a natural sign. So this was raised by adding a natural sign, and so in order to lower it, we put it back to the key signature by adding a flat sign. Now we're going to go down 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 4 to F. That's right, F. Next door note, next door note, up a third, down a step, down a step. Now down 1, 3, 5. And let's just double check. This is where I went wrong before. I recognise that note. That was here. That's here. That's here. It's the same note, so we know we've not gone wrong. So up a step. Now then here. So now here we have a natural sign, and this natural sign is cancelling the flat of the key signature. So this natural sign will cancel the E flat of the key signature. So that's correct. Up a third. Down a step. Now up a 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Now here, that's an E that's been flattened, it's been lowered. This is an A, nothing in the key signature, so to lower it, we flatten it just the same. Tie that, the stems are going to go up, so I'll put the tie underneath, and then down a step. There we go, that's all the hard thinking done. So now we just need to put the stems in place. So the stems may have to change direction. Now we've gone a bit lower. That it can go up, whereas it was down. So the triplet will be on top this time. These will still come down above the middle line. So the stems come down. Stems come down. Stems will come up. Oh, that's it. I've missed a sharp. Dear me, that's raised. So we'll raise that. This is another way of double checking. So stems come down. There we go. Now then here, stems come up. There we go. That's sorted. There we go. So by taking things a step at a time and just double checking as we go along the way, we just make sure we've got everything covered. So just check all of these accidental signs. And that's it, we're home and dry. That's the end of that question. We'll look at the next question in the next video. I do hope this is helpful to you. I hope it's helpful to your studies. I hope you're enjoying it. I'm certainly enjoying working through it with you. If you can give me a like, that would be super, and please do subscribe to my channel to keep updated. And please do visit sharonbill.com and make use of all of the resource and information that's available there to help you. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye.